Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial. In today's tutorial we are going to be doing this mermaid looking like top. I already did the bra cups on a previous video, which was a bikini top, but today I'm making it more of full coverage. This is how it looks in the front, this is how it looks at the back. You can also decide to have less coverage. I've done this before with, without the sides, and this is how it looks. Or you can do the bikini top that I did in case you want to wear it as a bikini top. So but in this video I'll be doing this full coverage one. I think it's pretty and I hope you like it, so we'll go straight into the tutorial. So this is what you'll need. So for this tutorial you'll need a tape measure. For the yarn you're going to use medium weight yarn. I use this brand, it's a German brand. It is 133 meters. I used about 2 balls of this. That's 100 grams. Yeah, so for the hook size, this is what I'll be using, 3.5 millimeter hook. Okay. Alright, so to start we are going to make an identical bra cup like this one. I already have mine, this one, and yeah, this is how it looks. It has this curve, okay, it's more like of a mermaid. It has mermaid vibes and all, so we are going to start on making that. So get your yarn and make a slip knot. For my size, which is an extra small, I'm going to chain 13 chains. Okay, 13 chains. So chain enough to, from your side boob, how high you want it to be on your side boob. I want mine to be 3 inches long. You can make it longer or shorter depending on how much coverage you want. So I have my 13 chains, and this is an equivalent of 3 inches. Okay, so we are going to be using single crochets for this pattern only in the back loop. So you are going to skip that very first stitch, go into the next stitch and make a single crochet. So skip one, go into the next and make a single crochet like this. Go into your next stitch, make another single crochet. Into the next, make your third single crochet, and I'm going to insert 1 single crochet in every chain until I get to the beginning, and I will have a total of 12 single crochets. So I'll have 12 single crochets for this. So you can make it longer if you wish. Just, measure yourself from the bottom of your boob to where you want it to reach. That's at the side. Okay, so this is what I have. And now we're going to go to row 2. So for the first rows we'll be increasing, get to the top and then start decreasing. So chain 1, turn your work, and right here in this first stitch, you see you don't go into the 2 loops, but you go into only the back loop. We are only working in the back loop, so go into the back loop of that very first stitch, make a single crochet, and into that very same stitch make your second single crochet. So we made an increase at the beginning of our second row. Okay, so now you're going to go into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and you will go into every stitch with 1 single crochet until you get to the end. And once I'm at the bottom, I should have a total number of 13 single crochets. My row 1 was 12, my row 2 is 13 single crochets. We are working only in the back loop. So yeah, that's my last stitch. That's my 13th stitch, right? So for row 3, you are now going to chain 1, turn your work, and at the bottom it is straight. Okay, so it is straight. So now I only insert 1 single crochet in that first stitch and 1 single crochet into the next stitch until I get to the top. So once I get to the top, that's where I will make an increase. So at the bottom it is flat, it only increases at the top. So it is going to be 1 single crochet in every stitch. Once I get to the top, I should have 13 stitches, and then I will increase with 1 to make it 14. Alright, so this is my last stitch, which is the 13th. And now I make an increase into that very same stitch. I insert another stitch to make it 14 stitches. So I made an increase there. So it's 12, 13, 14. Now for row 4, it will be 15. So in that very first stitch, we are going to make 2 single crochets. That's 1 and that's 2. Okay, so now I go on and insert 1 single crochet in each stitch, going downwards. And yeah, basically this is going to be our pattern. So we'll be increasing until I'm going to do this. At the bottom it's flat, it only increases at the top, and I'm going to do this until I have a total number of 11 rows. 11 rows. So my bra cup is a total number of 22. If you're making a size small, make it 24. If you're making a medium, 30, and then a big is 34. So I have my 11 rows. So one side is 11 rows, the other side is 11 rows, and that makes it a total number of 22 rows. So these are my measurements so far. Okay. This is my measurements so far. So I have 11 rows, right? So my 12th row is going to be the same size as my 11th row. 10 and 11. So my 12th row, I'm not making any increase, I'm not making any decrease. That is your topmost row. Those 2 rows, 11 and 12, are my topmost rows, and they are the same height. No increase on the 12th. Okay, so this is how it looks. I'm going to go down, then come back up, and once you come back up, remain with 2 stitches. I'll meet you to show you how to make the decrease. So I went down, went downwards, and then came back up, and I'm left with 2 stitches. So we're going to make a decrease. So you're going to skip this second last one and go right into the last stitch and make a single crochet. So chain 1, turn your work, skip the first stitch, go into the second one and make a single crochet to make that decrease. So yeah, skip 1, go into the next, make a decrease. So now from now on, go into every stitch with 1 single crochet until you get to the bottom. So you're going to be making a decrease when you're ending the row and when you're starting the row. That's at the top. Okay, so keep the bottom flat. So you're going to go down until you have the same number of stitches as your first one, or the same number of rows, and mine will be 22 rows in total. Okay, I'll meet you once you have your bra up so that we can do the bottom. It should look like this once you're done, and I'll show you how to do the bottom once you're done. Alright, so I'm done with my bra up. This is how it looks like. I have 22 total number of rows, and now we are going to do the bottom. Yours should look something like this too, so let's do the bottom. So we're going to be working in the ridges, the bottom ridges, with single crochets. So right here in these ridges is where we are going to be working. So chain 1, and yeah, in between here we are going to insert a single crochet in that very first ridge, and then go into the next ridge, insert a single crochet, in between the ridges, the low ridges, and yeah, insert 1 single crochet in every low ridge until you get to the end of this bra cup. So it's like we're making a decrease. We're not putting a single crochet in every row, but in every after 2 rows. And then it makes that, you know, curve that makes it more of, you know, like a bra cup. Yeah, this is what I have. This is how it looks. So you are going to go ahead and do your second bra cup, same thing, same size, and then don't cut off your yarn once you have your second one. And we are going to continue now with this side. This is my second bra cup, so now we work the side straight like this. So I'm going to chain 1 and insert a single crochet in this first stitch and a single crochet in the next stitch and into the next stitch, and I'm going to work until I have 10 single crochets on this side. So 10 single crochets. So if you don't want this coverage, you don't have to do this part, you can only do the bottom part. But if you want more coverage like I'd have, then you will need to do this. So these are my 10 crochets. So chain 1, turn my work, and in that very first stitch work a single crochet, and I'm going to work one single crochet in every stitch until I get to the end of this row. So I have my 10 single crochets, chain 1, turn my work, single crochet in every stitch, and yeah, this is basically going to be the pattern. And do enough to, you know, to cover from your side bob to where you want your side of the top to get to cover the back. So it can be longer, it can be shorter, depending on how you want your design to be. So I'll come tell you how many I did for my side. Okay. All right, so continue with the pattern. I'll come let you know how many rows I did, how many inches I did. So I'm done, and this is how it looks. So these are, let's see how many inches. This is about 4.3 inches. Okay, about 4.3 inches. So I'm just going to chain 1, cut off my yarn, and I will do the same for this other bra cup. Also same number of rows, same number of inches, and I'll come back so that we can put the bottom part. So I'll do this side, then we'll come back to put the bottom part. So I'm done. I have both sides done, and this is what I have so far, both my bra cups. Now I want to do the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to start from one side, go all around, you know, the bottom to the other side. Okay. All right, so now we are going to start on the bottom. So I put my bra cups together just to see how many inches I need for this chain in between, and I will do about 3.5 inches of the chain in between the bra cups. Okay, so now I did not cut off my yarn for my second side, so that's what we're going to work with until we get to the middle part where we will do the chain. So we are going to work with single crochets. So I'm going to insert 1 single crochet, chain 1, insert 1 single crochet in the first stitch and into the next stitch. So I'm working in between the rows like this. Here I insert my single crochet, go into the next ridge, insert my single crochet, and right there another one. You can see where I'm inserting my stitches. So do that, and yeah, until you get to the other side, and then we'll come and put the chains. So when I get to where I have single crochets, then I'll just do one single crochet in every stitch. This is at the bottom of the bra cup. And this is my last one. So now I'm going to make a chain. This is in between the bra cups, you know, below your bust area, and I'm going to make a chain equivalent to 3.5 inches. So I'll chain and keep measuring. So let's see how many I have so far. Not yet, so I'll make some more chains, and I do measure again. Not yet. I have about 3 inches and I want 3.5, so I'll add a few more chains. Yeah, I think I got it, so I'll just go and join this chain to the other side of the bra cup. Make sure you're joining on the right side or the similar side to the other one, so that you don't have two bra cups facing different, you know, directions. So I join with a single crochet, and I'm going to insert a single crochet in every stitch, and I'll go all the way to the other side. So once I'm on the other side, I'll chain one, turn my work, do single crochets across even the chains and back here. And yeah, so I did that, and this is what I have so far after the next row. So you'll keep doing this pattern. Chain one, once you get to the end of row, turn your work, do single crochets, get to the other side, chain one, turn your work, and work a rows of single crochet until you have your desired length of top. Okay, so this is what I have. I already did the other side, but this is how many rows I did. I did about let's see how many inches, about 4.5 inches long. So my top is about 4.5 inches long. That's from the under bust to the waist. Okay, so this is totally up to you. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter, depending on what you want. I already did this side. Now I'm going to show you how I did that, so that we are able to put our corset looking like a chain at the back. Okay, so you are going to reattach your yarn. And for this row, I'm going to work a row of single crochets first. So I'll insert a single crochet in that very first stitch, and a single crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to work single crochets in every stitch until I get to the bottom. So once I get to this other pattern, the rows, then I'm working in every ridge, in every row, like we did before. And yeah, until the bottom, and I'll meet you down there. Alright, so I'm done with my row of single crochets. This is how it looks, kind of neat. So now we do the chain, the mesh part. So I'm going to chain one, turn my work and work a half double crochet, and then do a second half double crochet, and then I'm going to chain two, skip two stitches, and into the third stitch I will make a half double crochet, go into the next stitch, make a half double crochet, then chain two, skip two stitches and work two half double crochets in the next two stitches, chain two, skip two, then work two half double crochets in the next two stitches, and that is the pattern. So we are skipping two and working two half double crochets, chain two, skip two, like that. So do that until you get to the bottom, and yeah, I'll see you there. Alright, so this is what I have. I have this side done and I have the other side done too. So now we are going to do the straps at the top. Okay, so on this where we had the rows, my 11th row, that's where I'm going to put to reattach my yarn on my 11th row. So the middle two rows that were equal, that's where you attach your yarn, and I'm going to work chains. So make a long chain that, you know, goes across, ties across my neck. So this is what I made. So now I'm going to go down on it with the slip stitches just to give it some, you know, some weight and firmness. So go down on it with slip stitches like this until you get to where you started at the bottom. So once you get to the bottom, you will make a slip stitch on your 12th row, just next to this, and then you will cut off your yarn. So do that, and you should have something like this. I already did mine. Yeah. All right, so I have my two straps back there. This is how it looks. So now I'm going to do this middle part. So it's optional. I just wanted more coverage. It's a zigzag. I already did one side, so now I'm going to show you how to do that on the other side. So if you want, you can just put, you know, the string across at the top, but I wanted more coverage. So go into your second chain from down and reinsert your stitch, your chain, sorry, reinsert your yarn and then you're going to chain enough that makes a crisscross that you want. So you can make them as close as mine or just, you know, more distant and with less coverage. Okay, I'll meet you once you have your two chains that crisscross. So I have my next, my second chain. I already put my first one, and this is how I'm going to crisscross it. So I'm just going to go in with my hook and pull through it like this, and go on the other side in between the ones that I already did from the other side, and pull it through like this, and again. So you can totally do away with this one and just do, you saw how I did my bikini top at the beginning. Just, you know, put a chain like 1.5 inches at the top of these two right here and the other side, and yeah, and you're good to go. So if you have, you know, good boobs. So yeah, so this is it, and you can tie it, adjust it accordingly. It can be tighter, it can be less tight, you know. Yeah, so you have that chance to adjust it. So So now, from now, we are going to do the chain that ties at the back, the crisscross corset kind of looking chain. So you are going to make a very long chain that should be able to go across your back like that. So make a chain long enough to go across your back, crisscross, and then once you're done with it, come on it down with slip stitches, or if you want it to be thicker, you can do single crochets, you know. And yeah, it should look like this once you're done, and I will see you once you have your chain. Yeah, I went ahead and crisscrossed mine, and this is how it looks at the back. So go ahead and sew in your ends, clean it up, and it should look like this when you wear it. I hope you love it. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and yeah, so thank you so much. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.